Did you know that most of us are surrounded by invisible traps, meticulously designed to keep us impoverished forever? Impulsive spending, unconscious entertainment, fake busyness, sweet comfort zones, and low-tier thinking are the invisible chains tightening around our freedom without us realizing. Escaping poverty does not merely require money, but more importantly, demands a complete transformation in mindset and action. The journey to break free from these traps is far from easy, but if you master the formula and persevere step by step, an extraordinary life is waiting ahead, brighter and more boundless than anything you can imagine. Now let us embark on the journey to decode each trap, shatter every chain, and unlock a life of true freedom. Poverty is not simply a lack of material wealth, but a deeply ingrained psychological condition maintained by invisible traps. These traps are cleverly crafted by modern society to control those lacking awareness. When the mind is shackled by negative habits, naturally, assets, opportunities, and success will slowly fade away. To change life's outcomes, one must break free from the psychological chains binding them each day. Change starts at the root level, not at the surface. Only by exposing and dismantling the unseen forces of stagnation can one reclaim the power to reshape their future in a meaningful and lasting way. Poverty traps do not reveal themselves as obvious pitfalls or closed doors. They disguise themselves as sweet promises, minor conveniences, and seemingly harmless habits. A cup of milk tea, a binge-watching night, an impulsive purchase, each small act accumulates into heavy chains. Poverty, therefore, is not merely a financial condition, but the inevitable result of countless minor compromises repeated daily. Awareness of these tiny surrender points is crucial. Without it, one unknowingly paves the road toward stagnation. Recognizing the disguised dangers in daily life is the first step toward breaking free from the cycle of poverty. A brutal truth is that modern society no longer needs violence to imprison anyone. People voluntarily imprison themselves through complacency and short-term gratification. They fail to realize that each time they succumb to a minor temptation, they are laying another brick in the wall, separating them from financial freedom. True freedom does not come from wishful thinking, but from demolishing these mental barriers. Every act of indulgence is a silent contract agreeing to remain shackled. Only with persistent awareness can one dismantle these hidden cages and reclaim the autonomy needed to rewrite their destiny. Many believe that hard work alone will change their fate, but if the mindset remains imprisoned, hard work only serves to spin the millstone faster. Those who tirelessly run in circles are merely exhausting themselves in a game rigged for their defeat. Success does not come to everyone who works hard. It comes to those who awaken, rethink their path, and realign their efforts toward freedom. Without strategic self-awareness, energy becomes misdirected, leaving one further entangled. Conscious, purposeful labor must replace blind hustle if one wishes to rise above invisible societal traps. The traps of poverty exploit the most natural human instincts, seeking safety, instant pleasure, and avoiding discomfort. These traps precisely target these vulnerabilities to make people willingly step into their own shackles. Understanding this mechanism is the first step toward liberation. Awareness does not come from surface-level efforts, but from shining a light deep into one's core motivations. Only by confronting these primal urges head-on can one begin to reclaim true autonomy. Recognizing the forces manipulating our daily behaviors is crucial to dismantling the internal conditions that lead to perpetual scarcity. No gatekeeper stands at the entrance of the poverty trap, because the system is designed for victims to willingly remain inside. Promises like, just a little entertainment, one last splurge, or I'll change tomorrow serve as the magic spells binding you tighter. Each time you compromise with temptation, you reinforce the invisible chains holding you back. Awakening requires breaking these mental spells one by one. It demands relentless honesty with yourself and the courage to refuse immediate gratification for the sake of long-term growth and freedom. Freedom is fought for in daily micro-decisions, not grand battles. To escape poverty traps, the first crucial step is developing the ability to recognize them. Anytime you find yourself acting purely to satisfy instant gratification, stop. Whenever fear of change paralyzes you, reflect deeply. Each moment of awareness is a decisive cut at the cords binding you. Through continuous self-vigilance, you gradually peel away the layers of illusion trapping you in stagnation. Liberation is not a sudden event, but a gradual unraveling achieved through conscious, repeated efforts to resist the pull of easy comfort and short-term thinking. Every act of awareness pushes you forward. Poverty begins in the mind, takes root in habits, and manifests outwardly into life's results. Changing external circumstances requires dismantling internal frameworks first. Every awakening becomes a forward step. Every time you overcome temptation, you lay a new foundation stone for a freer future. The path out of poverty is not paved in red carpets, but constructed from countless moments of clarity, self-discipline, and conscious choices. True transformation requires patient persistence, an unshakable vision of freedom, and the courage to break old patterns, no matter how comforting they may seem. The future rewards the awakened. The consumption trap doesn't just drain your wallet, it robs you of financial autonomy. When people act based on impulsive emotions rather than strategic reasoning, every spending decision becomes a stab into their future. Lavish goods, meaningless parties, impulsive shopping sprees, they are sweet traps leading to financial slavery. Poverty is not just about low income. It's about the systematic destruction of potential wealth through unconscious, self-defeating spending habits. Breaking free begins with understanding that financial ruin is often built, one careless purchase at a time. Every penny spent impulsively widens the gap between where you are and where you could be. Modern society does not force people into poverty by direct oppression. Instead, marketers craft psychological traps that make you willingly step into financial quicksand. They fabricate fake needs, inject artificial scarcity, and manipulate emotions until you act without thinking. It's a rigged game. You believe you are freely choosing, while in fact, you are merely reacting to expertly crafted emotional triggers. Every impulsive purchase is another link in the invisible chain tightening around your financial future. Awareness of these manipulations is your first armor. Without it, you are merely prey, not a free decision maker. Holidays, sales seasons, endless promotions, they are not designed to help you save money. They exist to empty your pockets faster than you realize. Many poor people think they are seizing opportunities, but in fact, they are falling deeper into the trash consumption trap, buying worthless items, sacrificing long-term security for short-term satisfaction. The more you spend on unnecessary things, the tighter the chains of poverty wrap around your life. True wealth is built by resisting these manufactured urges, not by celebrating every artificially created shopping occasion. Each unnecessary purchase digs your hole deeper. One of the deadliest traps in consumer culture is the feeling of, "I deserve it." After a hard day's work, you convince yourself that you deserve a treat. A luxury meal, a trendy gadget, a shopping spree. But these rewards are silent punishments. Every indulgent spending spree is an opportunity lost to invest in your freedom. Successful individuals don't reward themselves with instant pleasures. They reward themselves with growing freedom, assets, and options. True self-love is not buying fleeting happiness. It's building the kind of life where real fulfillment comes from strength, not surrender. Manufacturers know your weaknesses better than you do. They know when you are tired, defeated, or lonely. They know what products to push, what colors to flash, what discounts to offer to trigger your emotions at the perfect moment. A few clicks, and you've locked yourself into another cycle of needless debt. When you act based on emotion, you are no longer a consumer. You are prey. The trash consumption trap operates invisibly but ruthlessly. It wins not through force, but through your unawareness and momentary weakness. Recognizing this pattern is your ticket out. Escaping the consumption trap doesn't mean living a life of deprivation. It means living a life of strategy. Change the question you ask yourself. Instead of, "Do I want this?" ask, "Will this bring me closer to financial freedom?" If the answer is no, put it down without hesitation. Saving money is not a small, stingy act. It is a powerful declaration. I choose ownership over my future. Every mindful decision to preserve resources is another stone laid on the road to wealth and independence. Strength lies in saying no to what doesn't serve your grander vision. To truly break free from the consumption trap, you must redefine your relationship with money. Spending is not a reward. Spending is a responsibility. Every dollar you spend is a vote for the life you are building. Spend it chasing fleeting pleasure, and you vote for scarcity. Spend it building knowledge, skills, assets, and you vote for freedom. Your greatest power is not in how much you earn, but in how consciously you allocate your resources. Those who master mindful spending master the art of living freely and abundantly in a world designed to trap the unaware. Make each financial decision a triumph of the mind. Find joy not in spending impulsively, but in building wealth deliberately. Chase investments, not discounts. Pursue growth, not gratification. Every time you resist the urge to buy useless things, you're not just keeping your money, you're keeping your dreams alive. You are preserving your ability to shape a life far beyond mere survival. True freedom is built not with grand gestures, but with disciplined micro-decisions repeated daily. Master your consumption habits, and you master your destiny. One conscious choice at a time. Modern entertainment is not merely designed to bring you joy. It is engineered to hijack your focus and deplete your willpower. When you are constantly consuming shallow content, every minute lost is an opportunity for growth slipping away. Instant pleasure is like an anesthetic, numbing you from your greater purpose. The poor become trapped in an endless loop of fleeting satisfaction, while the wealthy build superior capabilities through disciplined self-control. True fulfillment doesn't come from passive consumption. It comes from creating, from growing, and from deliberately channeling energy into meaningful pursuits that build a lasting legacy. Entertainment platforms masterfully exploit how the human brain craves quick rewards. A short video, a simple game, a binge-worthy series. Every piece is optimized to keep you hooked as long as possible. When you click watch more, play again, or scroll mindlessly, you are not merely relaxing. You are pledging your most valuable asset, your attention, to things that yield no lasting value. Each unconscious click is a micro-surrender. Over time, these surrenders drain your ability to focus deeply, destroy your creative potential, and cripple your capacity for meaningful, long-term achievement. Focus is freedom. The habit of seeking instant pleasure weakens your ability to endure discomfort. Every time you trade off long-term rewards for immediate gratification, you widen the chasm between you and your greatest goals. Successful individuals understand that true happiness arises from achievement, not temporary amusement. They accept boredom, hardship, and delay as necessary ingredients for greatness. They endure the grind because they are building something larger than momentary relief. They know the pain of discipline is short-lived, but the pain of regret lingers forever. Growth lives beyond the line of immediate comfort. The greatest danger of entertainment traps is that they masquerade as legitimate relaxation. You tell yourself, just one video, just a little game, and suddenly hours disappear. Meanwhile, real opportunities for self-improvement, wealth creation, and life advancement quietly pass by. The wise treat entertainment with strict boundaries. They schedule their leisure rather than letting it schedule them. They enjoy recreation only after meaningful progress has been made. They understand that unstructured relaxation is the breeding ground for distraction, stagnation, and ultimately, mediocrity. Discipline in recreation is as vital as discipline in work. Escaping the instant pleasure trap requires building a healthier relationship with boredom. Instead of fleeing from discomfort into entertainment, learn to sit with it. Boredom is not your enemy. It is a signal that space has opened up, space for creativity, reflection, and genuine innovation. When you resist the urge for instant stimulation, you create the mental stillness necessary for breakthroughs. Great ideas rarely arise amid constant distraction. They emerge when you dare to be still, when you allow your mind to wander deeply rather than superficially. Embrace the boredom. That's where transformation begins. Another powerful strategy is to create anchors of focus. Select specific times of the day where you commit to no devices, no screens, no shallow entertainment, only deep work, learning, or thinking. Initially, it will feel uncomfortable, but over time, you'll find yourself reclaiming enormous mental strength. You'll rediscover your ability to concentrate for long periods, to think strategically, and to create without interruption. Focus is a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it grows. And in today's attention economy, the person who controls their focus controls their future. Rather than passively consuming whatever the algorithm feeds you, Curate your information diet deliberately. Choose content that stretches your thinking, inspires growth, and sharpens your capabilities. When you control what you put into your mind, you control the quality of your emotions, thoughts, and actions. The poor consume content to escape reality. The successful consume content to build a better reality. Every piece of information you consume is either an investment in your future or a debt you'll eventually have to repay. Choose wisely. Remember, time is your only truly non-renewable resource. An hour wasted on mindless entertainment today could mean a year of delayed progress tomorrow. Every decision to click a video, scroll a feed, or binge a show is a bet against your dreams. Awakening doesn't mean banning all entertainment, it means mastering it. It means deciding consciously when and how you engage with pleasure, ensuring that your energy serves your goals, not sabotages them. Own your attention, and you will own your destiny, one focused hour at a time. Busyness is the mask that modern society glorifies while hiding a terrifying stagnation underneath. People flaunt their busyness as a badge of honor, when in truth they are spinning in endless circles. Each day crammed with mindless tasks, lacking strategic thought, is merely a hollow repetition. Truly successful people are not frantically busy. They are selectively busy, focusing only on actions that move them closer to long-term goals. Productivity is not measured by how full your schedule is, but by how strategically you allocate your energy. Being busy is not the same as being effective. One of the most dangerous illusions of meaningless busyness is the belief that hard work equals progress. This mindset lulls people into complacency, making them think that effort alone guarantees success. However, if your work is not aligned with a bigger vision, you are merely burning energy. Truly successful individuals constantly ask, is what I'm doing today bringing me closer to my ultimate dream? If the answer is no, they ruthlessly eliminate the distraction. Mindless action without alignment leads not to advancement, but to deeper entrenchment in mediocrity. Meaningless busyness is like climbing a ladder leaned against the wrong wall. You may ascend quickly, but at the end, you realize you were going the wrong way. In today's world, direction matters far more than speed. A person moving slowly toward the right goal will surpass one rushing blindly. The truly successful invest most of their time in deep thinking, strategic planning, and setting priorities. The hustle alone doesn't guarantee greatness. Strategic hustle does. Being relentlessly busy without a clear strategy is the surest way to exhaust yourself without building anything meaningful. Petty tasks, minor obligations, and meaningless meetings are silent killers of ambition. If you do not actively control your schedule, others will fill it with their priorities, not yours. Every time you accept a trivial invitation or agree to a non-essential task, you are stepping away from your dreams. Those who master their lives are ruthless about protecting their time and attention. They say no more often than they say yes. Only by safeguarding your focus can you create breakthroughs. Your ability to progress is directly proportional to your ability to eliminate the unimportant. A common mistake is equating busy schedules with meaningful lives. Taking more classes, accepting more projects, working late every night sounds impressive, but often masks a deeper fear. The fear of confronting life's bigger questions. What do I really want? Where is this leading me? The brave are not afraid of empty spaces. They use silence to think, to plan, to realign. They dare to pause in order to leap forward farther. They know that slowing down to reflect often results in far greater acceleration later. Busyness without reflection is merely sophisticated procrastination. The key to escaping meaningless busyness is rigorously applying the 80-20 principle. Identify the 20% of activities that generate 80% of the results, and focus obsessively on them. Ruthlessly eliminate or delegate the rest. Remember, every minute spent on low-value work is a minute stolen from your brightest future. Successful individuals don't do everything. They do only what truly matters. True efficiency comes not from cramming more into your day, but from cutting out the noise and concentrating firepower on high-leverage actions. Excellence is a game of ruthless focus. A powerful tactic to combat busyness is implementing strict work boundaries. Limit your working hours to specific blocks of deep, focused work. Outside those hours, disconnect completely to recharge. This structure forces you to prioritize impact over volume. When you know your time is limited, you naturally focus on the most critical tasks. Discipline with time is the bedrock of genuine productivity. Those who master structured work become builders of empires. Those who remain slaves to endless busyness remain trapped in cycles of exhaustion, distraction, and regret. Time management is self-leadership. Ultimately, achievement is not measured by the number of hours worked, but by the depth of results created. 1 hour of intense, undistracted effort outproduces an entire week of chaotic activity. The truly successful cultivate habits of deep thinking, deep work, and intentional living. They refuse to let life happen to them. They architect their schedules, energy, and attention deliberately. They dare to pause, think, select, and act with precision. Escaping the hamster wheel of meaningless busyness requires courage, the courage to prioritize quality over quantity and impact over appearances. Build strategically, not reactively. The comfort zone is the sweetest yet deadliest trap humans unknowingly fall into. It is a place where everything feels familiar, easy, and non-threatening. Yet that very ease gradually corrodes your drive and suffocates your ambitions. When life feels good enough, the hunger to improve fades. Day by day, your inner strength diminishes without you realizing. You lose the resilience to face challenges. The comfort zone appears to protect you, but in truth, it quietly dismantles your ability to fight for a greater life. It is a velvet prison disguised as safety and contentment. Once accustomed to the seductive warmth of the comfort zone, people develop an intense fear of change. They fear failure, rejection, uncertainty, and disruption of the familiar patterns. Instead of confronting the vast, exciting world outside, they retreat into their tiny, predictable cocoons. Ironically, this retreat weakens them further, making them even less capable of dealing with inevitable changes. The comfort zone does not shield you. It shrinks you. It renders you fragile in the face of adversity. Staying stagnant for too long turns the once comfortable home into a deadly cage that traps your potential forever. The world is changing at an unprecedented pace. Technology evolves, markets evolve, opportunities evolve. Those who cling to outdated stability are swiftly left behind. The comfort zone, once seen as a haven, becomes a crushing weight dragging you down. In a world in constant motion, standing still is the same as falling behind. The truly strong are not those who avoid storms, but those who dare step into them. They understand that discomfort is not a threat, but a catalyst. Growth and opportunity await only those who abandon the illusion of eternal safety. The comfort zone itself is not the enemy. The enemy is the attachment to it. Temporary comfort can be restorative, but permanent residence there spells slow death. The goal is to constantly stretch yourself, enough challenge to provoke growth without breaking your spirit. Each day, do something that scares you just a little. Lean into minor discomforts. Every uncomfortable step extends your personal boundaries. Over time, what once terrified you becomes second nature. True vitality lies in perpetual expansion. If you are not stretching your limits, you are unconsciously shrinking them day by day. One surefire sign you are stuck in the comfort zone is when you stop learning. You repeat old skills, maintain old relationships, cling to old thought patterns without fresh stimulation. Outwardly, life seems stable. Inwardly, decay has begun. Real growth demands constant contact with new challenges, new ideas, new territories. If a week passes without you feeling mentally stretched or challenged, you are regressing. Comfort breeds stagnation. Stagnation breeds decay. Only by stepping beyond the boundaries of the familiar can you spark the renewal necessary for lasting advancement. Escaping the comfort zone does not require dramatic leaps. It starts with small, deliberate expansions. Learn a new skill, visit a new place, connect with diverse people, attempt something you fear. Each small action is like planting a flag in previously uncharted territory. Gradually, your comfort zone grows broader. Eventually, it encompasses realms that once seemed intimidating. Personal greatness is not a single act of heroism. It is the cumulative result of daily decisions to face discomfort rather than flee from it. Those who dare a little every day become unstoppable over time. A powerful method for smashing the comfort zone is setting discomfort goals. Goals that make your heart race and your palms sweat just thinking about them. These are the goals worth pursuing. They signal that you are venturing into growth territory. Comfort is seductive, but deadly. Each time you walk toward what scares you, you rewrite your self-image. You transform from a passive bystander into an active architect of your destiny. Fear is not a stop sign. It is a green light signaling you are headed in the right direction. Leap before you are ready. The comfort zone will always try to lure you back with the siren song of ease. But when you step out, you find newer, greater versions of yourself waiting. Outside your comfort zone lies the arena where dreams come alive. It is where you discover untapped strength, creativity, and resilience. It is where you realize that limits are illusions. Only by braving the unknown do you truly live, truly ignite your power, and become who you were always meant to be. Growth demands discomfort. Destiny demands courage. Step boldly into the unfamiliar and claim the life that is rightfully yours. Low-tier thinking is not caused by circumstances, but by repeated mental habits. Those with low-tier thinking often seek immediate comfort, justify failure, and blame external factors. They avoid deep thought, resist change, and settle easily for mediocre achievements. This slow decline does not make noise. It quietly erodes ambition and potential day after day. If a person does not consciously upgrade their thinking, they will soon find themselves drowning in mediocrity without even realizing it. Escaping this trap requires recognizing its invisible pull and fighting it with relentless self-awareness and courageous action. A typical manifestation of low-tier thinking is envy. Instead of learning from successful individuals, they criticize, mock, or attempt to tear others down. They feel threatened by others' excellence because it exposes their own laziness and stagnation. Rather than striving to rise higher, they waste energy resenting those who do. Envy acts like acid, corroding the soul and poisoning any chance of real growth. Those trapped in low-tier thinking cannot celebrate greatness. They attack it. Until they break free from this mindset, true success remains forever out of reach. Laziness is the core element of low-tier thinking. It's not always physical laziness, but mental laziness. Instead of thinking deeply, they repeat old beliefs. Instead of asking why, they blindly accept convenient answers. Mental laziness blocks strategic foresight and long-term planning. Without mental discipline, opportunities slip away unnoticed. Societies filled with lazy thinkers stagnate and collapse. The willingness to question assumptions, analyze deeply, and constantly rethink approaches is the hallmark of all progress. Growth begins when mental laziness is confronted head-on and replaced with disciplined critical thought. Another clear symptom of low-tier thinking is the obsession with small, shallow rewards. They are easily satisfied with short-term wins, a minor raise, a temporary praise, a fleeting moment of status. But they fail to invest in what builds lasting value: knowledge, skills, powerful networks. This fixation on small prizes anchors them permanently at the bottom. They trade lifetime transformation for momentary applause. They sacrifice profound breakthroughs for trivial comfort. Only those who learn to delay gratification and aim for higher, long-term achievements can break free from this endless cycle of insignificance. The victim mentality is the most sophisticated trap of low-tier thinking. When things go wrong, they rush to blame society, fate, or other people. They refuse to take ownership of their lives. But the truth is simple. Only full responsibility grants the power to change. Excuses do not build empires. Accountability does. Every excuse made is a wall erected between you and your dreams. Successful people focus on controlling what is within reach, not whining about what is beyond. The victim mindset guarantees permanent helplessness. Ownership guarantees a fighting chance for greatness. Another subtle manifestation of low-tier thinking is pervasive negativity. Such individuals see problems in every opportunity. They dismiss, criticize, and resist every new idea without genuine examination. Their negative mindset becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, ensuring stagnation. Meanwhile, those with high-tier thinking seek solutions. They constantly ask, how can I make this work? Positivity is not naivete, it's strategic resilience. It's the conscious decision to orient the mind toward creation instead of destruction. Solution-oriented thinking fuels innovation, growth, and leadership. Negativity cements mediocrity. The choice belongs to you. Escaping low-tier thinking requires a daily commitment to mental vigilance. When you feel envy, replace it with admiration and a hunger to learn. When you want to blame, ask what you could have done differently. When you feel content with small wins, remind yourself you are meant for greater victories. Changing your mindset isn't a one-time decision. It is 1,000 small battles fought and won within yourself every single day. Only through consistent, conscious effort can you lift yourself out of the quicksand of low-tier thought and ascend to the higher echelons of life. Ultimately, true class and greatness are not inherited. They are forged daily through how you think and act. Great individuals never let circumstances dictate their destiny. They build destiny through relentless self-upgrade, even from the humblest starting points. High-tier thinking is not a gift. It's the compound interest of thousands of conscious choices. When you choose to think bigger, act bolder, and aim higher every day, you lay the foundation for a life of significance. Your future is shaped not by luck, but by the thoughts you nurture and the actions you repeatedly take. Stagnation does not occur overnight. It infiltrates through small daily habits. One extra snooze, one delayed task, one half-hearted effort. Each accumulates into a massive force dragging you down. The danger lies in the fact that you often don't realize you're slipping. Only by recognizing that every small action either propels you forward or pulls you backward can you start the process of transformation. Victory against stagnation begins with vigilance over tiny decisions. Growth is not the result of a few heroic moments, but of countless micro-decisions made consciously, day after day, without surrendering to inertia. One core principle to break stagnation is action first, emotion follows. Do not wait for inspiration to act. Act first, even when you don't feel ready. Positive emotions will come after the motion has begun. The human brain is designed to respond to movement. When you throw yourself into action, energy follows. The difference between successful individuals and those who fail lies in this. One side acts without waiting for perfect conditions. The other waits forever. Progress belongs to those who act despite fear, despite doubt, despite initial resistance. Courage lies in moving first. The classic experiment of placing an alarm clock far from the bed proves a vital truth. Environment shapes behavior. When the alarm is placed across the room, forcing you to get up, the habit of waking early forms naturally. This demonstrates that behavior change does not depend solely on willpower, but on smart environmental design. If you want to overcome stagnation, set up your surroundings to make positive actions easier and negative actions harder. Mastery of environment is mastery of behavior. Those who design their surroundings consciously stack the deck in favor of transformation. Another powerful strategy is breaking tasks into small steps. Stagnation often stems from feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of a goal. But when you break it down into tiny, bite-sized actions, the brain no longer feels paralyzed. Instead of writing a book, aim to write 100 words today. Instead of losing 10 kilograms, aim to walk for 10 minutes today. Small victories snowball into unstoppable momentum. Action generates action. Confidence compounds. Breaking inertia starts not with grand ambitions, but with tiny, achievable steps taken consistently. Micro movements create macro transformation over time. Tracking progress is a crucial catalyst. People often give up because they don't see immediate results. Therefore, build systems to visually track your small wins. A checklist, a journal entry, a progress chart. Seeing proof of forward movement sustains motivation during inevitable dips. Every ticked box, every logged improvement, every small recorded success sends a signal to your brain. I am progressing. Momentum builds belief. Belief fuels persistence. Persistence reshapes identity. Tracking is not vanity. It is strategic reinforcement of the new self you're becoming. Celebrate progress, no matter how modest. Sustained energy also demands caring for the physical vessel, your body. A fatigued body produces a foggy mind. Prioritize sleep, maintain balanced nutrition, and commit to regular physical activity. Successful people view physical health not as a luxury, but as a non-negotiable investment. Vibrant physical energy fuels mental resilience, emotional stability, and strategic clarity. You cannot conquer high mountains if your engine is constantly sputtering. Mastering energy management starts at the cellular level. Every workout, every good night's sleep, every healthy meal is an investment into your performance, focus, and long-term vitality. Equally vital is building a supportive human environment. The people you spend time with either accelerate your growth or anchor you in stagnation. Surround yourself with those who embody action, resilience, and ambition. Share your goals publicly among them. Seek accountability. One powerful conversation, one piece of encouragement, or one challenge from the right person can reignite your momentum when your own will falters. No one rises alone. Strategic alliances and empowering relationships are force multipliers. Curate your tribe carefully, for they shape your norms, your beliefs, and ultimately your destiny. Finally, remember, breaking through stagnation is not a one-time event, it's a lifelong battle. Every day you must choose between temporary comfort and permanent growth. Every morning presents a decision. Will I move forward today or stay stuck? Each small choice compounds. Choosing growth 51% of the time is enough to tilt your life upward. Momentum is built one conscious, courageous decision at a time. Identity is sculpted by the 1,000 daily actions when no one is watching. Action breeds identity. Identity breeds destiny. Step forward today, no matter how small, and you step toward the greatness already within you. Escaping poverty is not a matter of luck, but the execution of a clear formula. It begins with awareness. Seeing exactly where you stand and why you are stuck. No self-delusion, no excuses, no avoidance. Only by shining a fierce light on your current reality can you carve a new path. Awareness is like turning on a lamp in a dark room. You cannot fix what you cannot see. Every personal revolution, every significant life transformation starts with brutal, unfiltered honesty with yourself. Awakening is the first act of rebellion against stagnation and despair. After awareness must come action. Knowing the problem without taking action is nothing but self-deception. Action doesn't have to be grand or perfect. It just needs to begin. Movement creates momentum. Every small act, no matter how trivial it seems, weakens inertia and strengthens belief. Waiting for the perfect plan is the enemy of progress. Those who achieve greatness act before they feel ready. They understand that clarity comes through movement, not premeditation. Life rewards those who dare to start while others are still hesitating, overthinking, or paralyzed by imagined obstacles. The next key is repetition. One heroic effort means nothing without consistent follow-through. Repetition turns action into habit, habit into character, and character into destiny. Successful individuals don't achieve extraordinary results through isolated bursts. They achieve them through daily, consistent, boring excellence. Progress demands showing up relentlessly, even on days when motivation is absent. Success belongs not to those who act occasionally, but to those who show up, day after day, building the invisible scaffolding of greatness, one repeated action at a time. The final element is adaptation. Life never unfolds according to the original blueprint. Failures, obstacles, and unexpected detours are inevitable. Adaptation does not mean abandoning your goal. It means being flexible in your approach. Successful individuals treat failure as valuable data, not as defeat. They pivot, iterate, optimize. They refine their strategy without losing sight of their ultimate vision. Those who rigidly cling to failed methods perish. Those who adapt, survive, and thrive. In the game of transformation, flexibility beats stubbornness every single time. Change is not an enemy, it is an ally to those who embrace it. Awareness without action is delusion. Action without repetition is random. Repetition without adaptation is stagnation. True transformation demands mastery of all four. Imagine yourself as a sailor. Awareness is your compass. Action is your oar. Repetition is your endurance. Adaptation is your ability to read the changing winds and adjust your sails. Only those who wield all four tools skillfully can navigate out of the stormy seas of poverty into the calm, abundant waters of freedom and fulfillment. Half-hearted commitment will not suffice. Full mastery of the formula is non-negotiable. One deadly mistake is demanding immediate results. Transformation requires patience. Growth is an invisible process at first. Like a seed planted in the earth, your efforts must be watered consistently without digging them up to check daily progress. Trust the compounding effect of small actions. Trust that consistency will bear fruit. Every book read, every dollar saved, every workout completed, every skill practiced is a silent investment maturing over time. Those who endure the invisible phase of transformation eventually harvest rewards that seem miraculous to the impatient observers who gave up too soon. A powerful reinforcement tool is building a positive feedback loop. Reward yourself for completing good actions no matter how small. Celebrate each milestone, each step taken. This positive reinforcement strengthens the neural pathways associated with productive behaviors. Success breeds more success. Momentum compounds. One small victory fuels the next, creating an upward spiral of energy and achievement. Remember, human behavior is reinforced through emotional rewards. Use this truth to your advantage by engineering emotional wins into your journey, ensuring that every step forward feels satisfying and sustainable. Above all, understand that the formula is infinite. Awareness, action, repetition, adaptation, it's a never-ending cycle. Each time you complete a loop, you ascend to a higher level of self-mastery. Each new level brings bigger challenges, and therefore bigger growth opportunities. Transformation is not a one-time event, but a lifelong journey. You are either compounding your success daily or compounding your stagnation. Choose awareness over ignorance. Choose action over hesitation. Choose repetition over occasional spurts. Choose adaptation over rigidity. Your best life is not found. It is built, one conscious, disciplined cycle at a time. Long-term vision is not a privilege of geniuses or billionaires. It is a survival skill that everyone must cultivate to escape mediocrity. People with long-term vision do not merely react to the present. They see the cascading consequences of every decision they make. They know that today's choice to save or splurge shapes their future. They invest in knowledge, networks, and lasting assets instead of chasing fleeting pleasures. Long-term vision acts as a compass, guiding them away from short-term traps and towards sustainable freedom, even when the world pressures them to live only for today. Without long-term vision, hard work often devolves into pointless short-term games. You may work relentlessly, yet pour your energy into projects that add no real value. You may save diligently, yet invest foolishly. You may fill your schedule, yet make no true progress. Those with long-term vision begin every endeavor by asking, where will this lead me in 5, 10, or 20 years? If the answer is vague or uninspiring, they adjust immediately. Clarity of destination ensures clarity of action. Drift is replaced by deliberate movement toward a future of significance and fulfillment. Long-term vision goes beyond career and finances. It governs health, relationships, and personal development. Those without vision neglect their health today and pay the price in illness tomorrow. They take relationships for granted, only to find themselves isolated when support is needed most. They chase superficial success, only to feel hollow after reaching their shallow goals. A truly successful life is built holistically, where wealth, health, love, and growth are all nurtured by the foresight to prioritize what truly matters before it's too late. To develop long-term vision, train yourself to think in terms of consequences. Every action, every decision sets off a chain reaction extending far beyond the present moment. Before you act, pause and ask, how will this decision affect my life, my family, my mission in 5 years? Thinking in long timelines transforms impulsive behaviors into strategic ones. The farther you stretch your mental horizon, the wiser your decisions become. Strategic patience is the foundation of all extraordinary achievements. Vision magnifies your capacity for intelligent sacrifice today to secure greatness tomorrow. A powerful tool for expanding long-term vision is creating a long-range plan, not just goals for the next year, but a roadmap for the next decade or two. Sketch the kind of life you want at 30, 40, 50, and beyond. Reverse engineer it. When you know your future destination, every action today gains meaning. Each book you read, each habit you form, each relationship you build becomes a calculated step closer to that grand vision. People without a long-range plan drift aimlessly. Builders of legacy move intentionally and strategically toward their chosen future. Without long-term vision, you become prey to other people's agendas. Corporations, advertisers, politicians, all craft their narratives to hijack your time, your money, your attention. Without your own mission, you serve theirs. Without your own dream, you become a bricklayer for someone else's empire. Long-term vision is the only shield against manipulation. It enables you to say no to the countless trivialities vying for your energy. It empowers you to allocate your precious resources where they truly matter. Only those with a mission-driven life can resist the gravitational pull of the mediocre masses. Long-term vision also grants resilience. Those who lack vision are crushed by every obstacle. Those with vision endure because they see today's struggle as tomorrow's foundation. They understand that greatness demands suffering, patience, and perseverance. A temporary defeat does not deter them because their eyes remain locked on a prize beyond today's storm. Challenges do not define their limits, they define their commitment. Visionaries are unshakable, not because life is easy, but because they have welded their hearts to a cause larger than momentary discomfort. Finally, remember that long-term vision must be continuously expanded. It grows through learning, through exposure to new ideas, through building relationships with extraordinary minds. Every book, every conversation, every new experience stretches your mental horizon. The broader your vision, the smaller today's problems seem. The higher you aim, the less you are shaken by temporary turbulence. With long-term vision, you stop merely surviving. You start architecting a life of power, abundance, and meaning. A vast, visionary future awaits, if you dare to lift your eyes beyond the immediate and commit to the epic journey ahead. Escaping invisible life traps is not a one-day task. It demands profound awakening and relentless action every single day. Trash consumption, fleeting entertainment, meaningless busyness, fake comfort zones, and low-tier thinking, each silently drains your strength and dims your dreams. Recognizing them is the first step, but only through strategic, consistent action can you break these chains and carve out a life of true freedom. Each trap is designed to feel comfortable. Each chain is disguised as a gift. Only those who dare to awaken, who dare to fight daily battles, claim the right to live authentically powerful lives. The victory formula is clear: awareness, action, repetition, adaptation. Knowing the map is one thing, walking the terrain is another. Every day, temptations will lure you back to ease and distraction. Every day, you'll have to choose comfort or growth. Success is not a grand event. It is the quiet accumulation of small right choices made consistently over time. If you choose wisely, even just slightly more often than not, your trajectory bends upward. The secret is not in perfection, but in persistent alignment with your highest future. Moment after moment. Another crucial pillar of liberation is system building. Motivation fades, willpower fluctuates, environment and systems endure. Build structures that make excellence easier and mediocrity harder. Weekly reviews, public accountability, visual tracking, all of them erect a scaffolding around your aspirations. Set yourself up to succeed by design, not by accident. Strategic friction against bad habits, strategic lubrication for good ones. Master the game of structure and victory becomes inevitable. Without systems, even the strongest intentions decay into forgotten dreams. With systems, even the weakest days become stepping stones toward greatness. Your greatest enemy is not external. It is the inner whisper urging you to quit. You're tired. It's not worth it. One slip won't matter. These whispers are chains. Every time you resist them, even for a moment, you forge mental armor. Victory does not come to those who never hear the whispers, but to those who hear and still advance. Endurance is not natural, it is trained, and it is forged in the 1,000 quiet moments when you choose discipline over indulgence, mission over mood, future over fleeting impulse. Breaking the chains also means accepting that you will live differently from the masses. When you reject mindless spending, trivial entertainment, shallow busyness, and soft comfort, others will find you strange. That is the price of freedom. Most are trapped not because they lack opportunity, but because they refuse to walk a lonely, disciplined path. True freedom requires outgrowing the need for constant approval. It demands forging your path with fierce independence. Only those who accept being misunderstood for a while can later live lives the masses can only dream about. Every small victory matters. Every time you save rather than spend, learn rather than scroll, persist rather than quit, you chip away at the invisible chains holding you down. Big breakthroughs are built on the foundation of countless tiny acts of courage. There are no insignificant steps on the path to greatness. Small daily victories create momentum. Momentum reshapes identity. Identity unlocks new realms of possibility. Believe that every disciplined choice plants seeds of transformation that, though invisible today, will blossom into forests of abundance tomorrow. Understand that breaking free is not a final destination. It is a lifelong evolution. Every level of growth reveals new chains to break, new ceilings to smash. Growth is endless. Every breakthrough simply earns you the right to battle on higher ground. The pursuit of mastery never ends, but that is not a burden. It is the greatest adventure available to any human being. Those who embrace this journey find not only external success, but internal strength, clarity, and peace far beyond the grasp of the ordinary. Finally, remember, you deserve a life of brilliance, freedom, and deep meaning. No one else can fight your battles. No one else can build your future. Stand up, choose. Smash the old chains shackling your mind and destiny. Persistently, patiently, fiercely, craft your new reality day by day. You were not born to live chained. You were born to soar. The world needs the unleashed version of you. Every small action you take today is a step closer to that radiant destiny that is already waiting for you to claim it. Escaping poverty is not merely a dream, but a vital mission. We have uncovered the traps of impulsive consumption, instant pleasure, fake busyness, deceptive comfort zones, and low-tier thinking. We have grasped the unshakable formula: awareness, action, repetition, adaptation. We understand the absolute importance of building long-term vision and uncompromising self-discipline. The path to true freedom demands bravery, persistence, and constant vigilance. Every correct choice today is a strike against the invisible chains. Every act of persistence is a declaration of a new life. Transformation is not given. It is forged through relentless, conscious effort. The road is tough, but those who walk it will own a life that shines far beyond ordinary imagination.